So you're looking for some fun games to play at your wedding. Or maybe you've been asked to host or MC a wedding and you're looking for some creative ideas. Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm gonna share with you 3 of my favorite games to play right after this.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and I have the absolute pleasure to be your host this evening.
What's up, everyone? My name is Durgy Spade, aka MC Spade, and I am a professional wedding MC and a professional magician. I have been performing at weddings for over a decade now, and now I want to share with you some of my favorite tips and tricks when it comes to a wedding. In this video, I'm gonna give you some of my favorite games and ideas that you can use for yourself. If there's even one thing that you get out of this video that you think you're going to use, I hope you'll consider clicking the like button, maybe even the subscribe button, so I can keep doing what I'm doing and keep bringing you more value just like this video. I 100% encourage you for you to customize these games as well. Make them more relevant to you, make them relevant to your bride or your groom. If it's your wedding, you don't want to be hosting these games. You definitely want to give this to either a professional MC to host or maybe a trusted family member. The first game we're going to talk about is called Scavenger. Sometimes it's known by other names as well, but really what Scavenger is, it's a combination of musical chairs and a scavenger hunt. When I'm hosting a wedding, I bring people from the audience. It might be, you know, all the bridesmaids or all the groomsmen, or it might be a bunch of random guests. You might want to do this with, you know, 6 to 10, 6 to 12 people perhaps. And once you get them onto the floor, you also want to make sure that each person has a chair. So if there's 10 people, you want to start with 10 chairs. What you're going to ask for is for all of your guests, or your contestants rather, to run into the audience and find one thing. So you might ask them to go find a $5 bill. Their goal is to go into the audience, maybe to their friends, family, or to a stranger, find this object, and come back to the center of the dance floor. Of course, you're going to remove one chair, so the last person back does get eliminated. After one person's been eliminated, maybe you're down to 9 people. Once again, you ask them to go run and find a specific object, let's say a lady's shoe. Now they need to run, find a heel or a lady's shoe, and they come back. Again, a chair gets taken away and one person is eliminated. Now you keep doing this until you have one person left who is announced the winner of the game. Some tips when playing this kind of game. You're going to want to let the DJ know what your plan is. It's a lot more fun when you have background music. What I like to do is when I announce, hey, go find that shoe or go find that dollar bill, I like the DJ to play some high energy, some music that's 120, 130 beats per minute that keeps the audience engaged. Another tip, you might consider talking to the bride and groom and seeing if they would be open to maybe even giving a small prize to the winner of the game. It could be something simple like a $10 gift card perhaps. But as soon as you attach some sort of prize to the game, it makes your contestants so much more eager and just they just want to win so much harder now all of a sudden. Now, if for some reason you walk into a wedding, right, maybe you're a professional host or MC and you get pulled into a wedding, or you go to a wedding, you realize you need to play this game, you weren't planning on it, there is no prize, well, that's okay too. Another technique I've used in the past is when we're getting down to the last 2 or 3 people of contestants, I ask them on the microphone, which side are they representing, the bride side or the groom side? Now what this does is, even though there's no prize, it gives them motivation to win because they're representing half of the people. They're representing one entire side. So, I might ask the audience, are you ready? Do you want to see the bride side win? Or is the groom side gonna take it? Again, you may not have a prize, but it gives them a reason to cheer. It gives your audience a reason to feel involved with the game. All right, the second game we're going to talk about is the shoe game, sometimes known as shoelyweds. It's very possible you've seen this game done before. It's so popular, but again, it is popular for a reason. It gets the audience involved and listening, and it also allows the audience to learn more about the couple. The game is simple. You bring your couple onto the dance floor, have them sit back to back, have them remove their shoes, or traditionally the way it's done is they remove their shoes and each person holds one of the shoes. So for example, the bride would have her heel, and one of the groom's shoe in the other hand, and same with the groom. He would have a heel and one of his own shoes in each hand. And now you're going to ask them some questions. The answer to these questions is going to be the bride or groom. Now, depending on what they think the answer is, they're gonna hold up the right shoe. So if they think the answer is bride, they're gonna hold up the bride shoe. If they think the answer is groom, they're gonna hold up the groom shoe. Straightforward to follow. Now, you might ask questions like, who is the messier eater? Again, they will answer and your audience will get to see how they're answering, and it's a lot of fun. And even the bride and groom might learn a little bit about each other. So here's a tip. I would definitely not tell your couple what the questions are in advance. Have these questions thought about in advance. You might have 15 or 20 questions ready to go. Here's another tip. Because I want to end on a high note when I'm running this game, I want to make sure that the last two have more meaning to them. I don't want to ask them for my last question, who is more likely to drop their phone in the toilet? That's a fine question. You can ask it maybe, somewhere in the middle, but I wouldn't save that question to the end. So my second last question is always, who said I love you first? And then my last question is always, who says I love you most often? And again, the answer, and it's just a nice way, I find, to wrap up the set of questions. Another tip, when you're coming up with the questions, think about if the question could be interpreted in a different way or make someone feel uncomfortable. For example, I have seen the host ask a question like, who's going to be the stricter parent down the road? Well, unless you know the bride and groom 100% and you know for a fact that they want children, maybe that's an unfair question. Maybe they don't want children, maybe they can't have children. And so because of that, I personally don't like asking these type of questions. All right, another pro tip just for you. I have seen this game done plenty of times in real life and online. And every single time, the host asks the bride and groom to remove their shoes, and they play the game the way it's traditionally done, with the shoes. I hate this. Imagine being the bride and groom, and now, you've been walking around all day or all afternoon, and now you have to take your shoes off and you have to hold up your dirty shoes. There's germs and dirt and all this stuff on the bottom, and on your wedding day, you're holding up shoes. Please don't do it this way. Find something else that can be used. Not only is this gonna keep the dirt away and keep them their hands clean, but also removing shoes is a lot of dead time. Any performer knows, any stand-up comedian knows, dead time is the last thing you want on stage. So you don't want to be saying, please remove your shoes, and they're struggling and it's taking them 4 minutes to take their shoes off while your guests are sitting. My favorite thing to use is tissue paper. So I have pink tissue with me, I have blue tissue with me. I bring it because I'm prepared. I give one of each of these guys to the bride and the groom. Now again, minimizes dead time, reduces them having to hold shoes, which I'm sure they don't want to do. And it's a lot more visual. So imagine holding something like this, nice and big, instead of a shoe, which could be a lot smaller. So think about your guests that are sitting further in the back, in the cheap seats way in the back. Now they can see too exactly what's going on. But do an exercise of what else could you use. Yes, you could use napkins. You're more than welcome to use that idea. But perhaps you want to use dolls, like a Barbie and a Ken doll. Or maybe you want to create signs that say bride and groom, and you want to decorate these signs. The sky's the limit. Use your imagination. Please do not use shoes for this game. All right, game number 3 is what I call the centerpiece game. It's a great game to give away the centerpiece if the bride and groom want to give it away. That's a big if. Double check that that the centerpiece, whether it's candles or flowers, are actually meant to be given away. Also be careful, there are times where weddings have centerpieces with flowers that are meant to be given away, but sometimes, let's say the flowers are sitting on a nice vase and the vase is rented and that needs to go back to the company. Well, again, you need to specify and be clear that if you're giving these away, it's only the flowers that are going home, not the vase itself. So there's different ways to play centerpiece games, right? The ultimate goal is to have one winner at every table, and that winner gets to take the prize home. One of my favorite games to play is hot potato. Just like you did when you were in grade school, you might use a napkin or you might use a spoon. And again, you're gonna work with the DJ. Let the DJ know what your plan is. And when you say go and give them the cue, the DJ will play the music and the item gets passed around in a circle. Eventually, you might eliminate someone, or you might have the person holding the item win immediately. It depends on how you want, the creative you want to get with the game. When I do it, I like to pass 3 or 4 items in a circle at the same time. So you might pass around like a set of car keys and a napkin and a coin, and then you can get creative with it, right? You can tell the DJ to start the music and then stop the music. As soon as the music stops, again, this time you might eliminate the person with the napkin, or you might eliminate the person with the knife, or you might tell the person with the knife to point to someone on the count of 3, and that person gets eliminated. So there's a lot of creative ways to do this. And of course, if you are the last person standing at the end of 5 or 6 or 8 rounds, you win the center prize. So you get to go home with it. Pro tip: you can play this game even if there's no centerpiece to be given away. If there were no centerpieces, I would play this game right before the dance floor opens. I would announce for the winner to stay standing, or ask everybody to stand, and it is now the winner's responsibility to round up everybody at their table and pull them onto the dance floor. So it gives the winner a responsibility. And it makes your DJ much happier, because instead of just opening an empty dead dance floor, which sometimes people struggle to get on, or it takes a little bit of time for the dance floor to get going, now if those winners are dragging their guests or their tables onto the dance floor, it's gonna get packed a lot quicker. Your DJ is gonna be happy, your couple's gonna be happy, and you are gonna look like a superstar. Alright, version 2 of the centerpiece game. I asked that at every table, one male pick up a napkin and stand up. I wait until every table has a male standing up, and then I ask one female from every table to stand up with another object. Let's say an empty glass. Great. Now we've got 2 people standing at every single table. I ask those people to put those items down. They don't need to worry about the napkin or the glass anymore. And I ask them all to join me onto the dance floor. We're gonna have a little bit of a contest. So they join us on the dance floor. Now if there's 20 tables, that means you've got 20 men and 20 women on the dance floor with you. I line them up so all the men are in one line and all the women are in one line. Again, I let the DJ know that we're gonna be playing this game because the next part is important and he does need to get involved. I let the audience know we are going to have ourselves an old-fashioned dance-off. That's right, a dance-off. And the DJ is going to play a song. In fact, we might do 3 separate rounds, and I'll try to find out in advance what is the favorite genre of music that the bride and groom like. So let's say they like hip-hop music and dance music and country music. Let's say they like all 3 of these. So round 1 will be the hip-hop round, and I'll ask the men to dance first, and the DJ plays a song, 15 seconds, maybe less, maybe 10 seconds, and all they gotta do is dance and show to the women that the men are the best dancers. Then we go to the women's side. The DJ plays, again, maybe it's the same song, but same genre, but it could be a different song or the same song, doesn't matter. Now they get their 10 or 15 seconds to shine. At the end, I ask the audience to vote who took that round. Did the men win the hip hop round? And I asked the audience to cheer. Or did the women take it away? And once again, they cheer. Based on the audience's reaction, we've got ourselves a winner of round 1. Then we do round 2 with a different genre of music, right? Dance or country or whatever. And then round 3 again. At the end, we should have either the guys or the girls that have won at least 2 out of 3 rounds, guess what? They are winners for tonight. If the men win, for example, when they get back to the tables, they are the ones that are going home with the centerpiece. Similarly, if the women won, then when they get back to their table, the women are going home with the centerpiece. Again, that's version 2 of the centerpiece game that I love to play. All right, bonus time. A bonus game just for you. Now, sometimes at weddings, it is customary for your guests to clink their glasses, and if they do, the bride and groom are expected to kiss. Now, before you do this game, speak to the bride and groom, ask them, is this something they want to be doing? Or if they want to be avoiding it, it is your responsibility as the host or the person that's going to be helping running the evening that you follow their wishes. Clinking glasses to kiss is so old. It's been done for years, and quite frankly, I think it's over in the sense that we can do better. Right? We can do so much better, and it's a missed opportunity if we don't do something better than just clinking glasses. So what can we do? One approach is if you have time to pre-plan this, I'll get 4 or 5 multiple choice questions about the bride and groom. For example, where did the bride and groom meet? And I'll have 5 cities listed. And at any point during the night, somebody can come up and ask for the kiss challenge. If they get the answer right, guess what? The bride and groom now have to kiss. But if they get the answer wrong, the entire table has to come onto the dance floor, and the DJ is gonna play a song for 15 seconds, and the entire table now has to dance to that song. I love it because now your guests are emotionally involved, and they've got something to lose, right? If they get the answer wrong, their entire table has to come up. Because of that one person, they have to dance for everyone. On the other hand, it could force the bride and groom to kiss. That's just one idea. Another idea, if you want to have a game for the bride and groom to kiss. This is called Mirror Kiss. You ask 2 people to come up onto the dance floor, and they have to kiss first before the bride and groom kiss. Now the catch is, whatever way the 2 people kiss, bride and groom have to mirror that kiss. So if it's a little peck, then the bride and groom also give a little peck. Similarly, if it's a big, wet, juicy kiss, then the bride and groom have to give a big, wet, juicy kiss right in front of all their guests. Alright, those are some of my favorite games that I play at weddings when I'm hosting them. I hope you found some value in this video. Now, before you go, if you are planning your own wedding or planning a wedding for a friend or family member, I have actually written a free ebook that you can take advantage of, 100% free, not a single penny, zip, zero, zilch. You can get this ebook over at weddingchecklistnow.com. Simply head over there and download it. It's for you for free. I hope you'll find some value in it. Again, if this is your first time here, my name is MC Spade. It's been my pleasure. Please click the like and subscribe button so I can keep doing what I'm doing and bringing you even more valuable videos. Thank you so much, and until we meet again.